Hello everyone, I'm Loon and welcome to the explanation video for the world's smallest instant block swapper. Now, I've already made a showcase video for this. If you want to see that, you can click the annotation on screen now, or the one at the end of the video. As well, for mobile users, there's a link down in the description below to the video. So anyway, let's get started. There's 3 key concepts that you need to know, so I'm going to dive right into the first one. The wool block above the redstone block is alternating white and black every single game tick. So, you'll see the piston extend, that takes 3 game ticks, and then it'll retract, it'll take another 3. Now, what the instant piston retraction idea is that the instant the redstone block starts moving backwards when it's getting retracted, its old position, so in this case the one above the pink, the game is immediately going to set that to an air block, not a moving redstone block, and so that means that you'll see it here, as soon as the block starts to move, that piston above the redstone block will be able to push since there's nothing there according to the game. The second idea you need to understand is a zero tick pulse. I'm not going to explain too much in detail about what this is since there's already a lot of great videos on it, but essentially what it is, it's a pulse where the redstone line turns both on and off within one game tick, causing a sticky piston to instantly move the block from one location to another. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to place a redstone block in front of this sticky piston, and that's going to power the redstone, which will power the sticky piston, causing the redstone block to move. But similar to instant piston retraction, as soon as it starts to move, the redstone block's not going to be considered here, which means this should be off, which means it would have gone on and off in the same game tick, and you'll see it'll instantly move the block forward. Here in front of you here is a zero tick pulse generator, very similar to the one I use in the actual machine. So what happens is when I press this button, it's going to zero tick both these pistons. Now how this works is the redstone dust powers the red sand. The red sand powers both these pistons, which causes them both to start extending. But when this one starts extending, it also updates this piston, which is currently being bud powered by the red sand, meaning it starts to extend. But these have already started to extend, which means they would have started to extend and retract during the same game tick, causing it to zero tick. The last obstacle and idea that you have to overcome is micro tick delays. So these are delays that all happen within one game tick, which allow you to change in what order certain things fire, but even though they're firing at the same time. It's a little confusing, so if you don't get it, don't worry. But essentially you can see here, the one on the right is always going to extend before the one on the left, and it's going to happen here too. But what I've done here is added sort of a device which adds the micro tick delays, and you can see now if I press the right button, the piston on the right is going to extend first, but if you press the left button, the piston on the left is going to extend first, even though they're both connected to the same redstone line, and these pistons technically extend at the same time. Now, the reason pressing different buttons does anything at all is because in order for this one to start retracting again, if you press this button, it's going to need an update, and that update's going to have to come from this piston, right, since it's being bud powered. This means that this piston must have started retracting before this one did, meaning this one must have pulled this block up first, meaning this line must have been powered first. But you can also do that on the opposite side, where if you press this button before these pistons retract, before this piston retracts here specifically, this one will have to retract, meaning it'll have to pull its block up first, meaning this redstone line will have to be powered before this redstone line, which allows this piston instead to get extending before that one does. Now that you know the concepts, I'm going to briefly explain what happens when you press this button to cause the blocks to instantly swap. So of course it's going to start extending this redstone block, and piston instant retraction states that these pistons will move their blocks back as well. These pistons also retract at the same time. These two are to add that micro tick delay that we talked about. It'll lift up this block though and power all of this redstone. Again, this is all happening within the same game tick. So when it does power all this redstone, it's going to trigger, it's going to power this sand block, which is going to power all these pistons, and it's going to cause a zero tick pulse to these two here, and this bottom one as well. Once this piston finishes retracting though, it's going to have the block in this position here, which will quasi-power this sticky piston here. So that's going to move this block down, and after two game ticks, this sticky piston is going to stop retracting. Now when these pistons started retracting as well, it extended at the same time, so it's extended now and retracted, which would have pulled this block down. This piston once it reaches full extension, and the redstone block ends up here. Quasi powers this piston, which pushes the block on top of this redstone torch, which powers this zero tick piston, which is part of the zero tick pulse generator, so that it re-extends and grabs the glass block. And then on the falling edge of the button, when this starts retraction, these three pistons, that one, this one, and even this one actually, so 4 pistons, all retract in the same game tick, which is what's going to bring this glass block down, and the sand block is also going to fall down and land on it. As well, this piston, when it goes back into this position, the redstone block, it's going to repower everything here, so these 2 pistons are going to move the blocks forward again, and these 2 are going to move their blocks down again, which will cut off the redstone. So everyone, if you're still here, I'd like to thank you all for watching, and I'd ask you to go down below the video and leave a rating. Likes and dislikes are appreciated. They tell me exactly how I'm doing, and then go down into the comment section, leave a comment with some constructive criticism. I love hearing it, and it helps me to improve my content. Sorry this video took so long. I've been working on a really big project and dumping a lot of time into it. It's going to be coming up tomorrow, so keep an eye out for that. And until next time, thanks for watching.